Sports is presented by Toyota. Let's go places. By Academy Sports and Outdoors, donating $100 for each Astros home run and $200 for each Correa home run to Houston Children's Charity. And by Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. It is warm and steamy in the Twin Cities tonight. It's game 2 of a 4-game series, and the Astros are trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. They've dropped 11 of their last 14. Here at Target Field, the Twins climbed out of the worst record in the American League last night by beating the Astros 3-1 on a combined 4-hitter. And as we get started, we have the Astros lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. George Springer leads it off. He's the right fielder. Alex Bregman plays third base. Jose Altuve returns to the lineup, hitting third at second base. The cleanup man is shortstop Carlos Correa. With Marwin Gonzalez at first base, Evan Gattis the catcher, Tyler White the DH, Jake Marisnick in center field, Tony Kemp in left, Mike Fiers will be the pitcher.
On the mound for the Minnesota Twins, he may look familiar. Came over from the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. It's Hector Santiago, the left-hander. Astros have had their struggles against Hector Santiago. His career batting average against Hector for the Astros is .194.
There's ball one from the veteran lefty to George Springer. Springer hit third in last night's game. George drove in the only Astros run. That was with a 6th inning double. He was 1 for 4. And it's 2 balls, no strikes. Santiago has that unusual delivery. Springer's hitting .270 against lefties. Fouls that one back, 2-1. Santiago throws across his body, but he is unpredictable and at times very effective, as you pointed out from those numbers you used, Blummer.
Yeah, he's a tough guy to face. When you say effectively wild, it's Hector Santiago. A lot of high 3-2 counts. Gets ahead with the fastball. He has a slider, curveball, changeup. Occasionally he will cut it. And that delivery too. The guys have talked about having some issues on that leg kick from Hector Santiago. It's a little herky-jerky, tough to pick up the ball.
That one is upstairs. Chris Guccione is the home plate umpire, and it's a 3-2 count for Springer, who's walked 58 times this year. That's a strikeout for Santiago to open the game.
George made a chase one out of the zone there, up and away, getting aggressive in a 3-2 count, sitting fastball. Ball just tailing away.
Santiago, who's 28, was born in Newark, New Jersey. Drafted by the White Sox in '06 in the 30th round, traded to the Angels. And then moving along to the Twins after a 6-0 record in July this year. There's Alex Bregman with a foul, strike one. Bregman on a 3-game hitting streak begins the night at 135. Bregman was 1 for 4 in last night's game. Quite a month of July for Santiago, but then he lost his last start against Cleveland. As he joined this Minnesota team, he gave up 5 hits and 4 earned runs in 5 innings in his first start as a Twin. He's 1-2 lifetime against Houston. Bregman rips one on a line, headed for the left field corner. That goes deep into the corner. Robbie Grossman over to play it into second base. Bregman, 4-game hitting streak, double number 3 as a big leaguer.
It's a great swing from Alex, not trying to do too much. We know he has a abbreviated load, really the hands barely moving right there, but does a good job of keeping them back, recognizing and turning on it. It's good to see that bat turning around for Alex too.
And with the extra base hit, he's now in scoring position for Jose Altuve, who got that rest Julia told us about last night. He has 19 homers, 67 runs batted in, a .356 batting average, 38 points in the lead in the batting race in the American League. Ground ball, and Bregman straddles that one around third, coming to the plate. Rosario with a throw and the tag, and he's out. Altuve into second base as out number 2 goes Rosario to Suzuki.
How about Jose Altuve? Welcome back. Just another base hit on the road for him. Alex Bregman had to get out of the way. That right there, that little hesitation might have been enough for most third base coaches to hold up that runner, ensure that you have a runner in scoring position for Carlos Correa coming up to the plate. but he is out by a good margin. Good throw, better play by Suzuki to go out there and secure that ball and actually hold on to it after that firm tag on Bregman.
2 outs. Altuve with the single took second on the throw to the plate. Bregman grimacing a little bit on the bench there. And it's Carlos Correa now with the RBI opportunity. He looks at it, and it's strike one to Carlos. 4-game hitting streak for Correa. 15 homers, 70 runs batted in to lead the club. A .267 batting average. Correa had a double in 4 trips last night. That's clocked to left field. Goodbye. 2-run homer, Correa. 2-0 Houston, a no-doubter, number 16 of the year for Correa, giving him 72 runs batted in.
Grief. Taking out some angst on the facade out there in left field of the second deck. Try and come into the kitchen of Carlos Correa. He can turn it around.
That's his 3rd career homer against Santiago in 10 at-bats.
This is a bullet trying to get in the kitchen. Gets the head out. Did a great job of putting that knob in first and then driving that barrel through it.
That's the Astros' first home run in 10 games, or 7 games rather, without a homer. They had hit 1 in the previous 10 games. They had gone 72 innings without a home run, and there was no guesswork involved in that one. There's ball 1 to Marwin Gonzalez. Fouls it back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Correa ripping that one.
Yeah, that ball's pretty well struck.
It's his 2nd home run against the Twins this season. And the Astros get home run number 135 of the year. They've been largely a home run dependent team, as Jeff Blum told us earlier. There's a backhand play by Trevor Plouffe, and he turns it into out number 3. But the Astros wind up with 2 runs on 3 hits. They go long ball off Santiago in the first for a 2-0 lead for Mike Fiers. Run by Correa at the top of the first. Now we take a look at the lineup for Paul Molitor and the Minnesota Twins. Brian Dozier leads it off at second base. It's Joe Mauer at first, Max Kepler in right field, Miguel Sano the DH, Trevor Plouffe at third, Eddie Rosario in center, Jorge Polanco the shortstop, Kurt Suzuki the catcher, Robbie Grossman in left field.
Mike Fiers going for the Houston Astros. A couple of good starts in back-to-back games against Detroit and Toronto. Back in Detroit on the road, pitched 6 1/3, didn't give up a run against those Detroit Tigers. Trying to do the same thing here in his 6th start against the Minnesota Twins.
High fastball, strike 1 call on Dozier. Dozier, a .262 hitter, has 22 bombs. He's driven in 63 runs. The Astros halted his 16-game hitting streak last night. He went 0 for 4. That's in the air, and the center fielder, Jake Marisnick, looking up into that twilight sky, handles it. One down for Fiers, a fly ball pitcher. This is by and large a pitcher's ballpark, and the high walls help to keep some balls in the park, especially in right center and right field. We saw one of those balls carry him off the right field wall last night, but the distances are accommodating for pitchers. Joe Mauer is the batter. Mauer, a .280 hitter, has 9 homers. He's driven in 42 runs with a good on-base percentage of .381. Midfield shifts around, playing him to pull. That's strike one. The outfield, though, does not play him to pull, as you see there. He's been very much an opposite field hitter for most of his career. 1 ball, 1 strike, and an outstanding hitter. For the last 12 games, he's hit .463, going 19 for 41. He was 1 for 4 last night. That one cuts in, and he fouls it away. And the cut fastball is an effective pitch for Mike. 1 and 2. A.J. Hinch talked about it earlier when he was describing Mike Fiers. Fastball certainly plays well. He gets it upstairs, and that can be very effective. Split finger plays well, but when he has his curveball and his cutter going as well, he has a very difficult mix for the hitter. That's just off the inside edge. Gaddis holding it there, 2-2.
I don't believe you, Browning. I think that entire baseball went over the plate.
you could sell me on that one. Look at this.
Yeah, caught a good portion of it. Maybe not the entire baseball, but I thought it was good enough for a strike. Sometimes when a pitcher doesn't hit his spot, doesn't get called.
3-2 now to Mauer. Mauer's walked 63 times, tied for 3rd best in the American League. Twins are 8th in runs scored in the AL with 516 runs. And that's a foul ball. Fiers has a good career record against Minnesota. 2 wins, 1 loss, a 2.53 ERA in 6 games, 5 as a starter. The Astros have had 7 quality starts in their last 8 games, but it's been tough for them to reach the win column. They're 2-6 in those 8 games. Lack of run support. Ground ball, and the shift is on, putting Bregman there. And that's not an unusual spot for him. He's played a lot of shortstop. It's out number 2.
It's actually a little bit of a luxury not to have that true third baseman that has to move over to shortstop. So having Alex Bregman at third, when you put the shift on, feels quite at home in that shortstop position.
2 outs, and now it's Max Kepler, the slugging German. He was 0 for 3 with a walk last night. Takes the big curve, and there's strike 1. 256 for the season for Kepler, who's really opened some eyes. He was not highly regarded among the Twins prospects when they went to spring training. That's in the air, and here's Tony Kemp, the left fielder, coming over for out number 3. 2-0 Astros after 1.
Carlos Correa over the Twins. Academy Sports and Outdoors and the Houston Astros are hitting home runs for Houston. These are most home runs versus lefties this season. Evan Gattis leads the way with 8 bombs. George Springer 7. Jose Altuve has 5. Marwin Gonzalez, switch hitter, has 4 from the right side. Tyler White on the board there with 4.
Evan Gattis rolls over on that one. Foul grounder. Strike one to open the second inning. Evan overall with 17 homers, 43 runs batted in, has a .225 average. He caught last night and went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. The Astros managed only 4 hits off Tyler Duffy and 3 relievers. 1 ball, 1 strike, and they have really started this one well with the bats. With 3 hits in that first inning, and Bregman was thrown out at the plate. Took that good play by Rosario to prevent an even larger inning. It's 2 balls and a strike. Santiago's ERA from July 2nd on is 2.45. Coming inside, he gets a corner call, and it's 2-2.
Take a look at that last pitch on our strike zone, brought to you by MD Anderson. Again, a pitcher misses a spot, still crosses plate, gets the benefit of the call because it is a strike, even though he missed his spot.
Gattis puts it in the air, and here's the second baseman, Dozier. That's out number 1. That was a trade involving Ricky Nolasco, Alex Meyer, and Cash going to the Angels. August 1st for this left-hander, Santiago. Santiago, 28 years old. And the 10 wins this season is a major league high for him. In his career, he's won 33. He's lost 33. His ERA is 3.70. Tyler White, the DH at 212, has 7 homers, 22 runs batted in. That's ball 1 to him. The Astros, in losing 11 of their last 14, have scored 32 runs in those 14 games while hitting .201 as a team. 2-0. So there are signs from the first inning tonight that this is a breakout night for them.
That would be huge for this offense.
3 balls, no strikes. Well, there are 15 and 20 in games started by lefties.
That still shocks me.
It's hard to explain with the right-handed hitters on this club.
Precisely. These guys are too good to be getting beat by left-handers like that often. And it's going to happen, of course, but we figure with some of those right-handed thumpers they have in that lineup, they'd be able to take advantage of the left-handed pitching.
On the edge, full count to White. The Astros currently trail by 8.5 games in the AL West coming into play today. The Rangers won again today, so at the moment it's 9 games. And Seattle's in second place. The bat takes off over the dugout as the swing for strike 3 ends the at bat for Tyler White.
It is an extremely hot, muggy night. Sometimes if you don't have enough of that Manny Mota stick or pine tar on there, I think that young kid in the green hat is okay.
Yeah.
That is always so dangerous. Get good 32 to 34 ounce piece of lumber flying into the stands. Usually doesn't end too good, but it seems that everybody's okay.
Yep, looked like he was fine. Jake Marisnick, who went 3 for 11 in the Texas series, was 0 for 3 last night. That snapped his 6-game hitting streak. 224, 2 homers, 9 runs batted in for Jake. He looks at the breaking pitch for ball 1. Tony Kemp on deck. This is the 7th straight game Marisnick has started. Got jammed on that one. A little pop up to first base to Mauer. And it's a quick second inning for Santiago. 2-0 Astros.
The Astros have a 2-0 lead over the Twins. Bottom of the second, and the Astros knew coming in this Twins team was really hot, 9-3 in their last 12. Offensively, though, if you look at the lineup, you can almost cut it in half as far as approach and how they get it done. The top of the order, zone control, very patient, take a lot of pitches. And then the bottom half, very aggressive, more free swingers. And Colin McHugh ran into that last night. It's troublesome at times for this guy. Browning.
Here's a drive, and that'll get out quickly for a home run. And it is now a 2-1 game on the Sano home run. Miguel Sano hit his 19th of the year, 48 runs batted in. That gives him a 6-game hitting streak, and the ball is jumping.
Julia called it. Talk about aggressive. It was an A+ ambush from Miguel Sano.
Sano now has 4 homers in 4 games.
Wow. It was just a cement mixer of a cutter, maybe a slider.
Trevor Plouffe 1 for 4 last night, hits a grounder to the left side. Carlos Correa. And fires, comes right back after the solo homer to get Plouffe on 1 pitch. Fires now has surrendered 18 home runs. He's in his 118th inning. Eddie Rosario is the batter. Rosario, the center fielder's on a 7-game hitting streak, 279, 7 homers, 25 runs batted in. He's hit .500 during his streak. Rosario was 3 for 4 last night, and he lined out to left field the only time he made an out, showing ball 1. Rosario, 24 years old, from Puerto Rico, and last year he led the American League in triples with 15. It's 2-0. Astros and Twins 2-2 against each other in the season series. The Twins are 5-2 against the Rangers in their season series, which has ended now. 2-1, and they have gone 16-10 against the clubs in the American League West. They just returned from a 5-2 road trip to Cleveland and Tampa Bay and won the opener of a 7-game homestand here last night. That's a foul ball, and it's 2-2. The Twins have a winning record since the All-Star break, 14-10. Fires, leaves it up, and it's 3-2 for Mike. Mike here at Target Field has pitched well, 2-1 with a 2.08 ERA in 3 starts.
Wow.
Right hand soreness.
I don't know. Not only is Sano a home run hitter, he's also the part-time trainer.
Strikeout of Rosario on the off-speed pitch. He kept it down.
That might be that split finger from Mike Fiers, just darted out of the zone.
Sure looked like it. Polanco is the batter. The Twins have the 2nd best record since July 2nd, 21-12. Only the Blue Jays are better at 21-10. Blue Jays happen to be next up on the Astros schedule.
Yeah, that would officially make this a very tough road trip.
You're really going out there. Strike 1.
It's a sturdy limb.
Yeah. Polanco has put together a 10-game hitting streak, 317, 1 homer, 10 runs batted in, hitting .366 during his streak. There are some hot bats in Paul Molitor's lineup. He was hot most of his career. 0-2. Trey Hillman and A.J. Hinch talk things over on the Astros bench. It's 1-2. Twins have really relied on homegrown players down through the years. We talked about that some last night. Those World Series teams in '87 and '91 stocked with some key homegrown players. Foul back. They went the free agent route, though, and with starting pitching, that has not worked out all that well. They have some great players in their history. Moving here from Washington, where they were the Senators in 1961. Way up, and it's 2-2. Hall of Famer Bert Blyleven is next door doing Twins TV. He's one of their greats. We talked about Jack Morris last night. He's doing their pre and post game shows. They have some talented analysts here.
Yeah, no pressure.
Struck him out. And after the home run by Sano, the next three go down for Mike Fiers. It's 2-1 Astros after 2.
For our Chevy Stroh poll, make sure to get on Twitter and vote at Root Sports SW is where you can find it. Here it is. Which umpire option would you like to see behind the plate? Computer, human, or a combination of both? I'm going to hand this up to Blummer to explain.
I guarantee you fans would love to see that combination, and it seems to be trending that way, just to have a little bit of a laser strike zone, but you still need the umpire back there calling foul tips, you know, catchers balk, stuff like that. There's also going to be plays at home plate, so that's still necessary to have that home plate umpire back there, but not necessarily to call that strike zone. Would be interesting to see how that turns out in the future.
Think there's any chance of it changing?
Not in my lifetime.
Tony Kemp was 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored last night. Tony looks at it, and it's 2-1. He starts the night at 271. Had that 3 for 3 game off the bench Sunday, and he told about how his tooth broke when he was in Las Vegas, and that created the need for dental attention. He was biting into some granola, and all of a sudden half his tooth was gone.
Oh, I thought he was reenacting the movie Hangover.
Well, the nerve of the tooth was exposed. There's a foul tip strikeout, and that caused the need for some painkillers, some attention as well.
Foul tip. Pretty good grab by Suzuki to hold on to that one. You and Ash were talking about snow cones the other day. There's one.
Yep.
Be great on a night like this.
They are perfect on a night like this, in fact. George Springer started the game, worked the count full, and struck out. Grounds this one to third. Plouffe. 2 outs. Santiago settling in after the 2-run homer by Correa. Now it's Bregman, who ripped a double to the left field corner in the first inning. Santiago pitched in Houston as an Angel June 21st, got a no decision, had good numbers, 6 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. Correa homered off him in that game as well. And Correa also hit a bomb against him last season in September in Anaheim. That's strike one call to Bregman. You know, the usual start for Santiago, and he has a career 3.63 ERA against Houston. Very competitive, but no decision. No balls, 2 strikes. He quite often runs a high pitch count, and he's gone after 5 or 6 innings. One and 2. Two and 2 to Bregman. Oh, that's a close one. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Wow.
Quality take from Alex.
Bet.
That crossfire trying to hit that front right corner just off the edge. Live to fight another day.
Jammed on this one. Up the middle. Dozier diving with the play. To end the third for Houston. That is 7 straight retired now by Santiago after the home run by Correa. And it's 2-1 Houston.
The Twins. It's time for the Geico quote of the day. Coming from that man, Minnesotan Kirby Puckett. I was told I would never make it because I was too short. Well, I'm still too short. It doesn't matter what your height is, it's what's in your heart. I think Astro fans can relate to what Kirby Puckett is dealing with because Jose Altuve is a little man with a big heart, plays extremely hard. We'd all like to see him making big plays in the World Series just like Kirby Puckett did.
And the home run on Charlie Leibrandt. 91 World Series. Homer Hankies.
That was a great series.
It truly was. 2-1 Houston. Mike Fiers facing Kurt Suzuki, the catcher for the Twins. He did not catch last night. He takes the curve and it's strike one. Suzuki, a .278 hitter, has 6 homers, 36 runs batted in. He's driven in 10 runs in his last 17 starting assignments. This was his 8th year on an opening day roster, 3rd with the Twins. Pass a diving Bregman up the left field line. That kicks over toward Tony Kemp. He overruns it a little bit, and it's a double. Suzuki's 18th of the year.
It was a changeup from Mike Fiers. Caught a lot of the baseball zone, and he crushed that down that left field line. Kicks off that corner.
Twins get hit number 2, and Robbie Grossman, the former Astro, comes up. There's a look at the career profile of Kirby Puckett.
Man, not too bad at all. Couple of rings, 10-time All-Star, Gold Glove, Silver Sluggers, All-Star, MVP, Hall of Fame.
He was a hit machine.
Kind of like that guy.
Grossman, the former Astro, takes. Robbie looking at ball 1. Robbie, a .266 hitter, has 6 homers, 23 runs batted in. He's drawing walks. He's drawn 44 bases on balls. His on-base average .394. Smokes this one to left center field. There's Kemp cutting over, making that catch. 1 out. Brian Dozier will follow.
Let's take a look at our Lexus defensive rankings. Again, you're going to see the number on the left, which is actuals analytics. Help us out get that number. The red light, green light, yellow light are my opinion. Tony Kemp still waiting to see what he can do out there in left field. He's got himself a couple assists on the season. But again, I think he's one of those guys who's converted an infielder to outfielder that you might test if you're the Minnesota Twins.
Dozier looks at ball 1. Brian homered in Houston off Mike Fiers May 4th, a 3-run shot. Mike got a no decision in that game. The Astros won it 16-4. But Mike was 1 out short of qualifying for the 5 innings to be the winning pitcher. It's 2-0 to Dozier. Dozier was in a slump earlier this season. In fact, when the Twins came to Houston, he started to snap out of it. He had 6 hits in that 3-game series with a homer and 4 runs batted in, but he had been pull happy up to that point, according to reports. It's 3-0. Well, he went to work on it, and still a lot of his hits have been pulled, but nonetheless he is now using right field more. In fact, now that we look out there at Jake Marisnick, he's shading toward right center on Dozier. Dozier's from Tupelo, Mississippi, and went to the University of Southern Mississippi. There's the way the outfielders are playing him. Altuve's right at the second base bag here, trying to keep Suzuki close, and then he backs up and plays right behind the base, as you see. Tap foul. 3-2. Cleveland shortstop Francisco Lindor has just broken up a no-hit bid by the Nationals' Max Scherzer, with 1 out in the 7th inning with a single up the middle.
That guy's pretty good. I mean, he shows up every start. Seems like he's got no-hit stuff.
Yeah, he's on track to win a Cy Young this year, according to some who are analyzing things right now, with Clayton Kershaw down. Ripped on a line, diving Correa, he caught it. Carlos Correa diving to his right, took care of out number 2.
He's got the home run out of the way. Now he's going to make some stellar defensive plays. That was a nice play on the line drive. Get a look at it right here on our Supermo, brought to you by Mattress Firm. Laying out, actually pretty happy that that wrist and shoulder are okay. Again, sacrificing himself for the better of Mike Fiers.
Gaddis goes out to talk it over with his battery mate. Excellent play by Correa. Joe Mauer will be the batter in the Texas 7-5 win at Colorado today. Starter AJ Griffin went 4 2/3, giving up 5 earned runs. Alex Claudio won it in relief, and Sam Dyson got his 25th save. Rangers keep churning along. That's it for strike 1 to Mauer, who bounced out to short earlier. Texas now 67-47. The best winning percentage in the American League. It's 1-1. Pitch was below the target given by Gattis. Mike Fiers lost a 4-1 game against Jay Happ in Toronto last time out. Got a no decision with another quality start in Detroit the time before that. Has 3 straight quality starts. 2 balls and a strike. Starting pitchers have really done some nice work recently for the most part, although 2 of the 3 games in Detroit on that last road trip were rough. But on the homestand, limiting that Toronto club the way the starters did, it's been primarily a lack of offense going into these 11 losses in 14 games. Bauer fouls it back, and the mission is to keep that pitching where it has been and then add the offense to the mix. There you see the starting pitching. Since August 1st, the Astros have the 2nd lowest ERA in the majors, 2.09.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive what they've been able to do. Maintain that consistency, knowing that the offense is going out there and scuffling quite a bit. It's almost as if no decision is an accomplishment for some of these starters.
Yeah. Bauer swings at it and strikes out. And that ends the 3rd inning for the Twins, who are scoreless in that frame with 1 hit and a man left. Leadoff double, but they do not score, and the Astros maintain their 2-1 advantage.
In Minnesota, time now for our forward spray chart with Jose Altuve coming to the dish. Since the All-Star break, all those hits, you can actually add 1 to that center field number, make that 17. He got 1 in that first AB today, 18 to left, 2 hits to right. Gives you a pretty good idea of, I think what he's doing is pulling the off speed and they're trying to beat him in with that fastball, and he is just turn and burn right now. Pretty good, pretty evident by that first swing right there.
It sure was. Strike 1 to Altuve. His hit in the first inning was number 156 of the year. Leads the majors in hits and batting average. Fouled away, and it's 0-2, and it could be really a historic season for Jose. He's 2nd in total bases, 2nd in on base average, 3rd in slugging percentage in the American League. Inside, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, top 5 in all the major categories. His name is everywhere on that list. And I think what's crazy too is he's got that high batting average, raking since the All-Star break, yet going up the middle and pulling the ball. That kind of goes against the theory of having to go up the middle the other way to get all those hits.
Yeah. Jose looks at it, and it's 2-2. The club record for consecutive games played was set by Craig Biggio from August 1st, 95 through August 4th, 98. 494 consecutive games. Jose just finished a 202 consecutive game streak, which was the longest in the majors this year. 3-2 now. Out to center field. Rosario will pick it up. It's a 2-for-2 start for Jose Altuve. What else is new?
Ho hum.
Here's Correa in the first.
For those wondering, that was 110.5 miles an hour off the bat. Estimated distance was 421 feet on that bullet. Such a beautiful swing when he connects and drives that ball out of the ballpark.
That ended a 57 at bat homerless streak dating back to July 23rd. That was his 16th of the year. He hit 22 last year. Correa with Altuve running takes the ball and he steals it easily. That's number 26 for Jose. He was third in the American League when the day started.
Love that he's not wasting any time. Steal early in the count, give Carlos Correa plenty of pitches to work with to try and drive him in. Is now the 41st stolen base against Suzuki back there. He's only caught 11 all year.
Tap slowly to short. Altuve's breaking to third. Here's the throw to first by Polanco. And a good read by Altuve on out number 1. A productive out, as they say. We go to Julia Morales.
Thanks, Brownie. The Coca-Cola Value Nights package is one of the best ballpark bargains available for select Monday through Thursday regular season games. This offer scores you a ticket, hot dog, soda, and popcorn, all for $18. To purchase tickets, visit astros.com/CokeValue or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
Julia, are you warm down there tonight?
Yes, very.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot more humid than last night, right?
Much. Last night was so comfortable, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe I was sitting outside.
Infield in for Marwin Gonzalez. He bounced out to third earlier. That is strike 1. Evan Gattis on deck. Marwin is 3 for 11 with a homer against Santiago. Luis Valbuena is making some progress as he attempts to return from the disabled list. AJ Hinch gave the media an update today. He did some running outside today at Minute Maid Park and some hitting. Off the plate, and it's 1-1. Astros hope to get him back quickly. And Luke Gregerson also is coming along well. Yesterday he did some throwing on flat ground. He hasn't gotten up on a mound yet, and he could return as soon as Friday in Toronto. Tap to the left side. Altuve watches Plouffe make the play. No chance to come in on that one. It's out number 2.
It's a good pitch from Santiago. Changeup down, very well located. This would be a good look at it, trying to stay down and away. Get Marwin to chase a little bit. Did a great job of doing that.
Evan Gattis worked the count to 2-2 and popped a second in the second inning. It is off the plate, ball 1.
Borderline right there, and going back to the Marwin Gonzalez at bat with a runner at third base, less than 2 outs, you're normally thinking getting something elevated or something you can drive to the outfield.
2-0.
Tough to be patient when you get a changeup in the vicinity of the zone. You want to be aggressive and drive that run in and be greedy, but still you got to stick to that game plan. It's tough.
Both these pitchers have quite an assortment of pitches. Santiago throws his fastball much more often. than Fiers, but nonetheless, they both had several different offerings as they prepare to throw any pitch in the ball game. It's 2-0 here, so it'll be interesting to see the choice of Santiago here on Gattis. He rolls it just outside the first base line, 2-1.
Man, that would have been special if that had snuck inside that first base line.
Yep.
But you were talking about the pitch selection. That was a 2-0 changeup.
That's what he can do, and Fiers also. Santiago's fastball comes in 61% of the time. Fiers 42% on his fastball. But on Santiago's fastball, the batting average is only .213. Three and one.
Steady diet of changeups to Evan Gattis with first base open. There you get a look at Tyler White on deck.
Gattis rips one, but it's foul.
Good pitch to hit. Hung that changeup just a little too quick for Evan Gattis. Man, changeup just dangling out there on the outside, but up over the plate. Just got around it off the end of the bat, broke that stick.
Evans hit 4 homers his last 15 games. Struck him out. No runs ahead. A man stranded at third. 2-1 Astros in the fourth.
Bottom of the fourth, and there's really not a bad place to sit here at Target Field, but this is the newest place you can hang out. It's called Catch. We're looking over. It's a great view of the field, but it's just really unique out here, guys. They all got their own TVs out here, food, wine, beer, it's all included, but the TVs are blowing my mind. They can watch the game right in front of them, but it's a touchscreen. They can also look into the bullpens if they want, and they can even watch the Olympics. It's crazy out here, but a really cool place to watch the game.
Can we come out there?
Absolutely. They have good brownies, too.
Oh, we're there.
Brownie loves brownies.
Oh, they're
Bring you some up. I'll bring you some.
That's the last thing we need, but thanks for the offer. They take care of us pretty well here.
Yes, they do.
Kepler hit a fly ball to left field. He cranks this one foul. 1-2. This is becoming one of the favorite stops for a lot of folks in the American League, and for that matter, National League and Interleague play.
Hospitality's off the charts. It is good.
That's tap foul. Word is there are some pretty decent golf courses in this area too.
Man, we played a great one today. Me, Sparky, Jerry, who's down in the truck, traveling secretary, Dan. It was a good time. Got to meet some good people, too.
Well, that's great. Nice way to spend the day. Fires with the off-speed pitch, goes to a 2-2 count now. On this date in Astros history, August 9th, 1976, Cesar Cedeno hit for the cycle for the second time in his career. And the Astros beat the Cardinals 13-4. 3-2. Kepler really quite a story, but with a .529 slugging percentage, he has earned his way to this everyday job in right field. Pass to diving Altuve for a single into right field for Kepler.
Whether you are treating employees, hosting clients, or bringing out your church or youth sports team to Minute Maid Park, Astros Group tickets will create an experience your group is sure to remember. Visit Astros.com/groups or call 1-877-9-ASTROS to enjoy special pricing and great benefits by reserving your group today.
A couple of home games coming up next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, with the St. Louis Cardinals. In fact, that's a very brief homestand and then off on the road again. Miguel Sano hit a rocket, home run number 19 of the year for him in the second inning on the first pitch for Mike Fiers. First pitch curve is in for strike one to Sano. The Twins, in going 21-12 since July 2nd, have outscored their opponents 197 to 146. And they're hitting .284 as a team in those 33 games. In the dirt, it kicks away from Gaddis. Here's Kepler advancing on the wild pitch. 10th wild pitch of the year for Fiers.
Pretty good read from Kepler. Good secondary, keeping your eye on that ball. Anticipate ball in dirt so you can get a jump like that.
Plouffe is on deck. Sano swings, and that's a 1-2 count now. The curveball's working well for Mike Fiers against this right-handed slugger.
Got ambushed on a cutter that first AB from Sano. Now going to the off speed. Making those adjustments from AB to AB.
Upstairs, and now 2-2. Sano hit 18 homers last year, so number 19 earlier tonight, a new high for him.
Just a curveball that got away.
Got him on a heater. Punch out number 4 for Fiers.
It's a good sequence from Fiers. Slowed his bat down, seeing a lot of breaking balls, and then elevated that fastball into strike zone right where Gaddis wanted it. Blew it right by him.
That's one big out. The cleanup man unable to move the runner. Now to Plouffe. Plouffe grounded out to shortstop, going for the first pitch. He just came off the disabled list last night after a rehab assignment. He was out, broken left rib. He was hit by a pitch. This one's off the mid of Gaddis, and Kepler will advance to third base.
Unhandcuffed Evan Gaddis. Didn't get the glove around it. Kicked off the thumb of the glove. Again, you sit up on the outside corner. That ball's tailing in and off the plate. It's a tough pitch to gather as a catcher.
We haven't seen a ruling on it yet. Now the infield comes in. Runner at third, one out. In the dirt, and Gaddis does come up with that one. 2-0. will assume pass ball on that play, getting Kepler to third. Three balls, no strikes. Rosario on deck. Cleveland 2, Washington nothing. Top of the 8th inning in Washington. Trevor Bauer went 6 1/3 shutout frames for the Indians. Max Scherzer walked 1 and fanned 10, giving up 2 runs, 1 earned in 7 innings for the Nats. In for a strike. 3-1 to Plouffe. Plouffe now trying to reclaim this third base spot. He hit 22 homers, drove in 86 runs last year, but Sano is going to be a big presence on this team. That's obvious. Sano plays third, also right field, and has been DHing quite a bit. That's ball 4. Plouffe takes the walk, and runners are at first and third with 1 out for Rosario.
It was the first walk for Mike Fiers against a right-handed batter in 74 plate appearances. Pretty good number.
Yes, sir. Fiers has 27 walks overall this season. This is his 120th inning. Rosario struck out on a 3-2 count in the second. Correa shading up the middle. That's it for strike 1 on Rosario. In the dirt, and it's 1-1. Astros are 7-4 in the last 11 starts for Mike Fiers. Overall in his starts, they are 11-9. Fouled, and it's 1-2. Yulieski Gurriel is making his Double-A debut for Corpus Christi at Whataburger Field tonight. He was promoted from Class A Lancaster. Before that, he was in the Gulf Coast League. He's had 21 professional at-bats so far in the Astros system. Getting ready to join the Astros, and it's getting closer and closer. Foul ball, keeps the count at 1-2.
It's a good thing the way Gurriel's swinging the bat. Showing some pop, showing some high average.
Yeah, things are going well. He hit a grand slam, drove in 5 on Sunday at Lancaster, then traveled Monday. Now Corpus at home, so he can settle in there for however long the Astros deem fit until he is ready for major league pitching.
Can't imagine the excitement Yulieski has in him right now, playing the game of baseball, signing a major league contract, knowing he's going to be in the show here in about a week or so after everything he's gone through. 32-year-old Cuban. It's a pretty good story.
And there's a chance that his 22-year-old brother, Lourdes Jr., could sign with the Astros. He's a free agent. If he waits until his 23rd birthday in October, he's free to negotiate with all the teams. So just a chance at this point. Struck him out. What a big one that is for Mike Fiers. That's number 5. Runners at first and third, 1 out. This could be a key.
Yeah, big strikeout, getting that elevated fastball by another Minnesota Twin hitter. You can see the frustration on Rosario, knowing he should lay off that pitch. He came into this game on a 12 for 25 streak in the last 7 days. So that's a big out right there, cooling him off.
Polanco struck out in the second inning. Paul Molitor had high praise for his play at shortstop last night. He looks at it, and it's ball 1. Kurt Suzuki on deck.
Huh.
Yeah, looked pretty good. Upstairs for a ball, and it's 2-0. Sorry to see about Bruce Bochy being ill for the Giants. Admitted to the hospital in Miami.
Yeah, that's not good. I hope Boch is feeling better.
Yep.
Rumor has he's out of the hospital, managing tonight.
Good. That's a strike on the inside part of the plate to Polanco. That makes the count 2-1. Brandon Crawford had quite a game for the Giants last night. 7 hits. That's 3 more than the Astros had.
Oof.
Yeah.
It's a pretty incredible night. 7 hits. I don't care how many innings you're playing.
You bet. Fly ball left field, Tony Kemp. That could be a turnaround in this game. The Twins threaten. Mike Fiers turned them away. Runners at first and third, 1 out. 2 to by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by HEB. No store does more than my HEB. Warm, steamy. Minneapolis, St. Paul. We're actually in Minneapolis. It's 2-1. The Astros lead it. We're going to the 5th inning. White, Marisnick, and Kemp 2 up for Houston against Santiago. Tyler White worked the count full, and he struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. Got a question on Twitter about Luis Valbuena. When can he be back from the disabled list? Could be Friday. As far as the 15 days that he would have to sit out, it could be. We're not sure what kind of physical condition he would be in by then. Strike 1 to White. Off the plate, and it's 1-1.
Now, those hamstrings are always tricky.
Yes, they are.
You make sure they're 100% before you come back. Valbuena's not a burner, but you just like to see him getting good jumps at third base, because another guy, I know Alex Bregman's playing a very good third base right now, but for me, Luis Valbuena is one of the better ones also down there at third base defensively.
Big cut there by White. Makes it 2-2. Santiago keeping his team right squarely in this 2-1 game.
Tell you what, I don't mind that so much from Tyler White. I like to see the aggressiveness and letting that thing go.
Now 3-2 again for the 2nd time tonight on White. The Astros hitters working the count pretty well. 62 pitches. 35 of them strikes for Santiago. They have not worked a walk in this game. They've had some 3-2 counts. Foul ball. This is the 6th 3-2 count of the night. Santiago, before he pitched the first inning tonight, had walked 59 and struck out 111. That's 59 walks in 125 2/3 innings. His whip, walks and hits per innings pitched, 1.34 per 9. Foul back, so he's had a lot of traffic, but has a 4.37 ERA, and he's one of those guys who can work out of trouble. By the way, we also had a question, Plummer, about what do you do to improve your batting average with runners in scoring position?
Pitch selection. Go up the middle the other way. Don't be afraid to let that ball get deep.
Plouffe bobbles it, pounces on it. 1 out.
Time for greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Some happenings around the league. Zach Greinke off the DL with that oblique issue. Prince Fielder, kind of unexpected. It's unfortunate. That second neck surgery is going to probably announce his retirement after having that done. And we talked about Brandon Crawford. Big night last night. That was a very long baseball game down there in Miami, and he made the most of it. Ex-UCLA Bruins, 7 hits in 1 game.
Rennie Stennett did that once upon a time. Jake Marisnick hits the ball to center field, going back on it, Rosario, and he is now at the wall just about for a long out, number 2. A 1 pitch out for Santiago. He's hanging in, and now it's Tony Kemp. Kemp struck out in the 3rd inning. Tony said he got to the ballpark Sunday about 12:30 for a 1:10 game. Then he just sat in a chair wondering if he would be used as a pinch hitter. Well, he came in the 8th inning and wound up getting 3 hits. That's a most unusual day. He had not been able to sleep too much a couple of days before that because he had a nerve exposed in that tooth.
Well, everybody knows you get better medication in the big leagues.
Strike 1. Well, the type of medication he was in need of was not available in Las Vegas on Saturday night.
Yeah, apparently it's not important enough out there. Move to Houston, all of a sudden you're a big deal. You get the concierge service.
Bouncer out to second, and Dozier makes it out, number 3. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 2-1 Houston.
It's 2-1 Astros out in front. Looking for the perfect location for your special event? Minute Maid Park provides elegant event spaces and high-end entertainment in one of Houston's most iconic sporting venues. Learn more about how you can have your special event at Minute Maid Park by calling 713-259-8800 or by visiting Astros.com/special events. Brownie.
Thanks, Julia. 2-1 Astros. Kurt Suzuki leads it off in the home 5th inning. He led off the home 3rd with a double to left. Bregman's backing up a little at 3rd. Still not very deep, and there's ball 1. Suzuki's been known to drop a bunt every now and then. 2-4-0 for Houston, 1-3-0 for Minnesota. The Astros have left 1. The Twins have stranded 3. It's in for a strike, and it's 1-1. Mario Posada gave us a question on Twitter about Richie Allen carried a 40-ounce bat. You see that one right there at the catcher's mask. And it indicated it might have been a little bit high. And that high one is popped up foul. Marwin Gonzalez goes over for a look. So, question being, what do you think the Astros use for bats? They use very light bats these days. Nobody uses a 40-ounce bat.
Gosh, no, not this day and age. My goodness. Trying to catch up to 100 miles an hour with a 3.5-pound bat. My gosh, no. The average bat size is usually around 34 inches long, 32 ounces, 33.5. Some of the better hitters in all of baseball in history, other than if you go back into the 20s, 30s, and 40s. But when guys were actually able to custom make some of those bats, they started to drop the ounce and go for bat speed.
Tony Gwynn used what they called a pea shooter, right?
Yep, and it was I believe it was only 32 inches long. It was an extremely light bat, but he also had those lightning quick hands. Jeff Bagwell didn't use a big bat. He actually had it was a 32, 33 ounce bat, but it was only 33 inches long, I believe.
3-2 for Fiers to Suzuki. Kurt's 32 years old. He was drafted by Oakland in 04 in the 2nd round. Rolls foul. The shirt came untucked. So he's attending to that right now. He was born in Hawaii, played at Cal State Fullerton. Had the game-winning hit in the College World Series championship game against Texas. That's ball 4. Suzuki works the leadoff walk. That's the 2nd of the night for Fiers. Here's another question about bats. Could you tell if you had your eyes closed and somebody put a bat in your hands how heavy it was?
I'm not sure if you'd be able to pinpoint the exact ounces, but you can give it a pretty darn good guess. You can definitely tell if you had your blindfold on and you try to tell a guy where the weight distribution was on that bat. I guarantee you most big league hitters would be able to tell you that too. Might be able to tell you what model it is just by handling it too.
Yeah. Robbie Grossman line to left his first time up. Fouls back the fastball. There's strike 1. Robbie is 26 now, born in San Diego, but he grew up in the Houston area, Cypress, Texas, went to Cy-Fair High School. Came up with the Astros in 2013, and he had quite a bit of playing time, 257 at bats that year. He had been drafted by Pittsburgh, and then the Astros got him in a trade in July of 2012. Monty Rodriguez deal. High drive right field, and he has hit a bomb. 2-run homer by Robbie Grossman, number 7. The Twins lead it 3-2.
Leadoff walk in the inning, and then Robbie Grossman did some homework watching those guys hitting in front of him. Saw that Mike Fiers was going for the elevated fastball every once in a while. He got an elevated fastball right here and hammered it. This would be a good look at the location. That's where Gaddis wants it, but I think Robbie had every intention of going up there and trying to get that thing. And did. Those darn revenge ABs.
Yep. Brian Dozier comes up. Bangs one off his foot, strike one. The Twins with a couple of home runs. Sano hit a solo shot in the second inning, and now they lead it by one. They are 10th in the league in homers. That's 135 for them this year. They've hit 57 at home. Their opponents have hit 78 in this ballpark. Little roller goes foul. Yeah, that ball was just right there by the baseline. Gaddis picked it up, and the home plate umpire had to make a determination whether it was fair or foul. Chris Guccione.
I want to say that Evan Gaddis peeked into the dugout and explained to A.J. Hinch that ball actually was foul, but I mean, that was right on the line.
Did it hit his foot? Couldn't tell. There was no indication by the home plate umpire that it had hit his foot, which would have made it a foul ball because the foot's in foul territory. But it was close. 1-2. But yeah, that ball is just sitting right there on the line. It's a fair ball. That's a drive to left field. That ball hit well. That sails over Kemp's head, and that is a long ball. Back-to-back shots. That's number 23 for Dozier, and it's 4-2.
Dozier has pop. Shouldn't be a shock to see him as a second baseman driving the ball out of the ballpark. But this pitch right here is just a changeup that ran right back into the barrel of Brian Dozier.
Now a 2-run lead for the Twins, and Joe Mauer bats. He's 0 for 2. Mauer takes ball one. Bullpen action. Michael Feliz getting loose. Around a body, takes a cutter in. 2-0 to Mauer. Dozier's gone deep twice this season now against Fiers. That's his 5th career homer against the Astros.
Ooh.
Joe let it fly. 2-1.
Trying to go back to back to back. 2-0, got himself a heater. That's actually in a pretty good place to hit it too. But like you were talking about earlier in the game, Joe Mauer is one of those guys that likes the ball out over the plate, drive it up the middle the other way, likes to get those arms extended.
This one's a liner to left. Tony Kemp. Finally the first out for Mike Fiers after a walk, a homer, and another homer. Kepler will follow. Kepler singled in the 4th inning, advanced as far as third base. He's 1 for 2. We told the story about his upbringing last night. His mother actually was born in San Antonio. His father in Poland. Kepler was born in Berlin, Germany. In for a strike. He signed for $800,000, which at the time was a record in '09 for a European player signing with a major league organization. Bunted, and that goes foul. You know, our good friend Art Howes taught baseball over in Italy. There's been a real effort the last decade or so to get experienced major league former players, managers, coaches into Europe to teach the game, and it's been fairly widespread.
Yeah, it has, and I think that's a real push by the union, the Players Association, trying to expand the game of baseball. And I think Major League Baseball's in on it too. There's been opening days in Australia, Mexico, Tokyo. They're really trying to make this a world game. attracting some of those world baseball players to come over here and play at the highest level in all the world.
Altuve throws at Kepler for 2 outs. Sano will bat. Sano homered in the 2nd inning, struck out in the 4th. Yeah, it is such an international game now.
World Baseball Classic 2020 is going to be the reinstatement of softball and baseball into the Olympics.
That's right.
Moving in the right direction.
I just never can figure out the Olympic thinking on baseball and softball. It's in, it's out, it's in. What is the problem here with the sport being accepted at the Olympic level?
Heads up, Julia. Vampires are out.
Yeah, we need to get her under cover.
No, I'm with you, Brownie. I mean, they take away tug of war, and then it's baseball's gone.
Popped up. Altuve can't see it, or maybe he can. No, he can't see it. And there is Marisnick behind him. He finally turned to Jake, and Jake handled it. But it's that twilight sky again, and it's 4-2 Twins.
Grab it and, I don't know, channel your inner Derek Jeter and throw the ball as hard as you can over there. I've thrown that ball away many times, so I'm just glad it went to his glove this time.
How about Colin McHugh last night with the glove work going to his right? Shift is on, by the way. Gets Max Kepler at first base. Surprised all of us, really, guys. We don't usually see McHugh make plays like that. And A.J. Hinch said, you know, that's pretty athletic for a pitcher, so messing with him a little bit. So he definitely got ragged on a little bit after the game. And I know, Brownie, you heard from his dad, didn't you?
Yeah, he texted. George Springer with a ball up the right field line into the corner. George is headed for second base to start this 6th inning. And that is a leadoff double in the frame. Springer gets his 19th of the year, and the Astros get hit number 5 of the night, trying to come back here after losing the lead. Yeah, Scott McHugh texted that Colin's brother was watching the game along with the rest of the family and said he had never seen Colin jump that high, even in basketball.
Shocked everybody with that one.
Alex Bregman doubled in the 1st inning. Hit a pop-up in the 3rd. That's ball 1. Well, you had that question that you answered earlier about how to hit better with men in scoring position. You said be more selective.
Yeah, try not to expand the zone. The pitcher is obviously trying to get you out. Might be doing a little bit extra with that runner in scoring position, but be patient. Pick a zone on the plate. Pick a pitch. And really stick to that game plan.
In for a strike, 1-1. I'm sure you've talked to pitchers who have said, well, I've got you where I want you as a hitter if you've got a man in scoring position, because I know you're going to be trying to do an awful lot and I can work with that.
Well, and they know hitters are greedy. hitters want to get those runs driven in. They look good on the stat sheet. They look good when you're sitting across the arbitration table. So they try and play off of that.
And for a strike, 1-2.
Then you go ahead and get a couple of baseballs painted on that inside corner. You're behind 1-2, but there's no need to panic. He still needs to throw a strike to get you. And again, in this position right here, there's a reason Alex Bregman is hitting in that 2-hole. The leadoff man is at second base. His job is to get him to third base for Altuve and Correa hitting behind him. The bonus would be getting him over and getting him in.
Two and two. We were talking at lunch about Moises Alou, and I think he's probably the best clutch hitter for the Astros I've ever seen. He was just terrific in those RBI situations. Had a great mindset.
You really got to embrace those opportunities.
3-2 now. He's the guy who can come through in those late innings against the hard throwers.
It's good to have those guys in your lineup to be able to rely on.
I'm going to get your favorite nominee after this next pitch. That's a walk, and a good job by Bregman of not being overly aggressive. And so whether it was Jeff Bagwell, of course, he's the RBI guy, so we'll let you handle that after this.
No, he is definitely the RBI guy, and Houston Methodist is going to bring us our league leaders. Total bases for Altuve, can add a couple more to that. He is jumping up there. And again, just another leaderboard this guy is on. Jose Altuve just dominating across all league categories offensively. Truly impressive to watch, a lot of fun to watch, and he's found himself in a lot of these clutch situations for the Houston Astros. We talked about some of those previous ball clubs. Moises Alou. For me, it was Jeff Bagwell. Carlos Lee was another good RBI guy. But if we really needed, we talked about how teams struggle and you get in these slumps and you're looking at the guy next to you. Who's it going to be? Jeff Bagwell was that guy for us. You know, Biggio would set it up by getting on, and usually Jeff Bagwell was in a situation to really help the ball club out and kind of break that seal, so to speak, and get things going by driving in that run.
Yes, he was. There's strike one to Altuve. 2 hits to center field tonight. Batting average up to .358. In for a strike, 0-2. Tough call there for Jose. He's had a few lately.
Yeah, but if you watch his ABs as we look and see where this pitch is on the plate, up and away, up and in. Not exactly sure if Santiago's looking for that, but you watch Altuve's demeanor. He doesn't panic. He gets right back in the box and knows he has a job to do.
Up the middle, and he does that job. Springer around third. He will be held, and the bases are loaded. And Altuve is 3 for 3 tonight. On the 0-2 pitch, he rams it up the middle. Bases loaded, nobody out for Correa.
Never out of an AB until you're going back to the dugout. Altuve personifies that, never giving in, taking advantage of every mistake. Santiago made one right there, 0-2, and the bases are now juiced for a guy who's taken him way back already in this game.
Neil Allen, the pitching coach, comes out. And this is the downside of Hector Santiago. 79 pitches, bases loaded, nobody out. He has a 4-2 lead. Tonkin warming up, but he can lose it quickly in a game. So this is buying a little warm-up time for Tonkin, not knowing how much longer they want Santiago to pitch, because he's facing a guy who took him deep with a 2-run shot in the first inning. Correa ripped that home run in the first. He grounded out in the fourth. Bases loaded with Springer, Bregman, and Altuve. Strike to Correa. Carlos is hitting .223 against left-handed pitching. The home run tonight was his second of the year against the left-hander. He's had 105 at-bats against southpaws. That's out to right field. Well hit toward the wall. That ball's got something on it. It bangs off the wall. Springer scores. Here's Bregman behind him. The ball is coming in late, and the Astros tie it 4-4. Correa took that one a long way for a 2-run double to right. He's driven in 4 tonight. 74 runs batted in for Carlos.
Oh, smoked, and he didn't even get everything into it. Pitch away. Watch, he did this all upper body. Just kind of stuck the barrel out there, shot at the opposite field. It was a pretty good play off the wall from Kepler. Ooh. Then it turned into team handball out there, thankfully, because it was a lot of. You know what made that interesting on the base paths is there were so many fast guys on the base paths that didn't know what to do. I mean, that was some serious decision making for Gary Pettis at third base.
You're right. Foul back by Marwin Gonzalez for strike one. He's grounded twice to third, but Pettis very aggressive. Got 2 runners home. Now it's Altuve at third, Correa at second. Good speed at both of those bases for Marwin. Tap to shortstop. Altuve's coming in. There's Polanco with the throw, and the Astros lead at 5-4 on the ground out by Marwin. That's his 29th run batted in, and it also advances Correa to third.
That is a high quality at bat right there. Not trying to do too much, knowing you have the infield playing back, especially up the middle. You hit that ball to the corners, it might be a little bit of an issue, but here's a great look at it. Just nice, easy, routine ground ball up the middle of the shortstop. Correa does a good job making sure it's on the left-hand side. He moves up.
Roof caved in quickly on Santiago as he leaves. It's now 5-4 Houston. Back in a moment.
Leading it. Come get a behind-the-scenes look at Minute Maid Park. Learn all about the ballpark by visiting areas like Historic Union Station, Luxury Suites, the Diamond Club, and more. For more info, visit astros.com/tours or call 713-259-8996 to schedule your tour today. New pitcher for the Twins, Browning.
Got a little action in this one, Julia. Thanks. And it is Michael Tonkin, 2-2 with a 4.09 ERA. 2 holds. Faced the Astros a couple of times in early May in Houston.
Yes, he did. Making that 49th appearance in this ball game. He will come at you with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Changeup, he throws pretty firm also, 89 to 90 miles an hour. Slider. Looking to control things right here. Another runner at third base. Less than 2 outs for Evan Gattis.
And Paul Molitor could use a strikeout. Tonkin is the most likely to do that among the Twins relievers. There's ball 1. Gattis is 0 for 2. Tonkin has struck out 65 this year. In his last 40 2/3 innings, he has 49 strikeouts. Correa, the runner at third, with 1 out. Well, there's a big gap up the middle between shortstop and second base. 1 and 1. A lot of room there. Tonkin is second among the Twins relievers in relief innings pitched. Two balls, one strike. Tonkin listed at 6'7", a 30th round pick in '08 from Glendale, California. First made the big leagues in 2013. Gattis looks at it, and it's 3-1 with Tyler White on deck. Michael Feliz works in the Houston bullpen. Fouled away. 3-2. 94, you said, was the fastball, and there's that base running call.
Yeah, this is Carlos Correa's double, and you can see what speed does. Alex Bregman chasing home George Springer, and right behind Bregman was Jose Altuve. Carlos Correa was thinking two the entire way, just pushing guys along.
Inside to Gattis, he works a walk, the second of the inning. Now it's Tyler White. Runners at first and third, one out for White, who has struck out and grounded to third. Yeah, that was an interesting view of Gary Pettis, and instructive in the way the third base coach has to work with those runners pretty quickly sometimes. You know, he waved around Bregman, but then he had to stop Altuve right behind him.
Yeah, there's on the swing. Now watch Gary Pettis. Springer's going back to tag up just in case, but Bregman recognizes off the wall. Gary waving him. Has to stop Altuve. It's a good shot.
Ball one to White. Kind of like some of those policemen working traffic after a sports event sometimes. You got to be quick at stopping those people. White gets underneath it. Here's Dozier out in shallow right center. Correa tagging the center fielder, calls him off. And Correa will just draw the throw, and it's cut off. Rosario got a good throw back in, 2 outs. Now Jake Marisnick will try to drive him home. Jake 0 for 2 tonight. Carlos Gomez had his problems in center field last night. He made a 3-base error and then lost another ball in the twilight sky. Felt very badly about it. And A.J. Hinch was asked after the game, would Carlos be playing Tuesday night? He said, well, not Tuesday, but then we'll reassess things after that. So Jake gets the call. He was in left field last night. Puts this one in the air to right. Kepler with the catch. And the Astros grab the lead again. 3 runs scoring on 3 hits. 2 men stranded, and it's now 5-4 Houston.
It's the bottom of the 6th. And 2016 Coca-Cola Astros Buddies memberships are on sale now for only $25. Buddies members receive a voucher for 4 tickets to a select Astros game, front of the line access to Kids Run the Bases, exclusive player autograph sessions, and more. Visit astros.com/buddies for all the details and to purchase a membership for kids up to 12 years old. Brownie.
Thanks, Julia. Bullpen ERA leaders: Baltimore #1, Houston #2 in the American League. 3.16 is the Astros bullpen ERA. Michael Feliz has been a big part of that, Plummer.
Yes, he has. Big arm coming out of that bullpen for A.J. Hinch. Great fastball. Great slider and good changeup. Good spot for him to be in. Shut down this inning, maybe another one.
7 wins for Michael Feliz. 6 of those in extra inning games. Trevor Plouffe is the first man up in the home 6th inning. Leaning back from ball 1, Plouffe grounded to short and he walked. Mike Fiers in 5 innings allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, walking 2, fanning 5. He threw 88 pitches, 55 for strikes. Fastball there at 95 evens the count at 1-1. He's missing in. Falls behind him now. 2 balls and a strike. Michael pitched the final inning in the 3rd on Saturday against Texas. Rangers won that one 3-2. He did not get tagged with a run. That's in for a strike, and it's 2-2. Michael's second in wins among major league relievers now. Mark Melanson was the last Astros reliever to win 7 in a season. That was in 2011 when he won 8. Last Astros rookie to win 7 was Jim Doherty with 8 in '95. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Feliz has 12 games of 3 strikeouts or more. That's the most by an Astro since Brad Lidge at 13 in '06. Among rookies and strikeouts. That's a ball, and Plouffe has drawn a walk. 3rd walk for Astros pitching. Now Rosario, he has struck out both times.
Tell you what, Michael Feliz looks thoroughly annoyed with himself because he knows he just annoyed his manager by walking the leadoff guy coming into this ball game.
Make up for it. The shift is on. Correa up the middle. Feliz has an ERA of 0 in 4 innings against the Twins this year. He gets a swing, but it gets by Gattis. And Plouffe advances to second base.
First I thought that was a changeup. Now that looks like a little more of the slider coming out of the hand from Michael Feliz. Skip through the 5-hole.
Ruled a wild pitch. By the way, the earlier play in the 4th inning, Kepler going to third base was ruled a pass ball on Gattis. Now a man in scoring position representing the tying run for Rosario, who's driven in 25 this year. One and one. This Astros bullpen with 19 wins, 14 losses, 28 saves. Really done a nice job this season. Currently banged up. Gregerson on the disabled list. So Feliz has a chance to step up. Feliz got a win in the 14-inning game against Toronto a week ago last night at home. Last 3 outings have given him scoreless baseball. Tap foul, first base side, 1-2. Blue Jays are at home. Tampa Bay is crushing them 9-2. Top of the ninth. Marco Estrada went 5, allowing 2 earned runs. Drew Smyly went the first 6 for Tampa Bay, giving up 2 runs. Logan Forsythe hit his 13th homer. Towering pop. Foul ground for Bregman. Won't get it. Kicked off a seat and out onto the field. Either that or if it hit somebody's hands, we've got a story. Still 1-2. It was a hard carry back onto the field.
Somebody brought their skillets.
Julia could have caught it.
With those bricks for hands?
Nobody went for that ball, Julia. What happened?
I know. I need a glove, but I watched it. Everyone's okay over here. We're good.
You have to be watchful where you are.
I watched it. It's more scary when the third baseman is running at you as fast as he can. I was more worried about Bregman than anything.
Yeah, really. Oh, what a nice pitch by Feliz. Punching out Rosario with a breaking ball right on the outside edge.
Rough night for Rosario. Gets himself the hat trick on that backdoor slider.
Polanco is 0 for 2 tonight. That would miss outside for ball 1. The Twins were quite a surprise team last season. Finished above 500, made a playoff run at it. This year has been much tougher. They were 83-79 a year ago, finishing in 2nd place. That's a good pitch. 1-1. Boy, that fastball right in that location, Plummer. That's a hard pitch to hit.
Yeah, big tall kid Michael Feliz, but that downward plane, then just paint on that low and away corner. That is tough to catch up with number 1, and tough to just find a way to get a hit on.
Up the middle, Correa diving. It's on through to center field. Marisnick picks it up, fires toward the plate. And here's the tag by Gaddis, and they get him. Plouffe is gunned down by Jake Marisnick on a fantastic throw from center field to Evan Gaddis.
Didn't they see our defensive rankings, for crying out loud? It's a red light on Jake. He is hyper aggressive coming to get the baseball. He does a good job of getting to it. And watch the fundamentals afterwards. Carlos Correa gave it a great effort too. But watch right here. A little bit of a crow hop. Get on top of that baseball. Backspin it to home plate. That was a great pickup by Evan Gaddis on that in-between hop right there and put the tag on him. Very nicely done.
Textbook. Now Brent Strom, the pitching coach, comes out. I could look at that play all night.
Yeah, that was fundamentally sound. And the Astros do that. I think they play a very good game of defense behind their pitching staff, and that's why the numbers are low, because they're able to cut these guys off at home and save those runs. When so many times we talk about Jake chasing down fly balls, running into the gaps, making it look easy, that's something else he can do pretty well too.
That is the 36th outfield assist for the Astros this season. They were tied for first in the majors with the White Sox coming into this game. Now Kurt Suzuki bats. Suzuki looks at ball 1. He has doubled and walked. Now just the way Jake maintained the body control on that, it was really textbook. And then the throw by the center fielder is a more difficult throw because he has to get over that mound.
Experience.
Yeah.
Trust. Wow, nice pitch.
1-1. Usually it's the corner outfielders who lead clubs in assists. They get more chances. The center fielder quite often is on the run. He's just trying to hit the cutoff man, Plummer.
Yeah, and you know what? The way you create a good arm is being aggressive to the baseball and cutting down that distance between you and the base you're throwing to, and that's what Jake does very well.
He really did at that time. Yeah, his speed, that's a good point, is a definite factor in a play like that. And the ball took that true hop into Gaddis. But quite often you'll see the throw from center field hit the mound and pop up in the air. It just presents a much bigger obstacle for the center fielder than for the corner guys. In the dirt, Gaddis blocks it well. 3-1. How great a feeling is that for an outfielder in a one-run game to cut down that tying run at the plate?
I wish I knew. That guy could tell us. He's got a couple under his belt in his career.
He really does. Fastball ties him up, and Suzuki puts it out of play. 3-2 now. Beginning the ninth, the Astros were 4 games out in the wild card race in 5th place. Trying to snap a 3-game losing streak tonight. It's been back and forth in this game. 2-0 Houston in the first on a Correa homer. Twins got a Sano homer in the second. They took the lead with 3 in the 5th, 4-2. Now the Astros riding that 1-run lead after a 3-run 6th. Runner going, and it's a strikeout to end it. What a big play in this game in the 6th inning. Plouffe trying to score to tie the game on a single by Polanco, and he is out on the beautiful peg by Marisnick.
Lead the Twins 5-4. It's time to announce the winner of our Chevy Stroh poll. Thanks to everyone who got on our Twitter page, Root Sports SW, and voted, and those who follow. Which umpire option would you like to see behind the plate was the question tonight. 44%, a combination of both, is the winner. Guys, what do you think?
How would we do that, Julia? Any idea?
This
Come
is
on,
why
Julia,
I handed
tell
it
us.
right to Blummer earlier. He had such a great explanation of how that works.
Okay, Blummer, what do you think?
We put up. We could put it on the scoreboard. There's got to be a section of that scoreboard. The way these jumbotrons or El Grandes are made these days, you find a section up there, just red light, green light, ball, strike.
Yeah.
To delineate that, and then make sure you got a guy at home plate making plays, calls on plays at home plate, foul balls.
1-1 to Tony Kemp is 0-2. Well, our buddy Hawk Harrelson could MC the whole thing.
Oh,
put it
my
on
gosh.
the board. Yes.
Wouldn't he love that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like to see that almost 40% voted for that human because it's still a part of baseball. It's the way it's been. What about replay challenges? What if you know for sure it's off the plate? Hey, go to the replay. Make sure you made the right call. I don't know.
We know back in about 1944 or so when Bill Beck owned the St. Louis Browns, he used to let the fans vote on whether the Browns would do something like hit and run play. Seriously. They did.
Man.
They they had them stand up. Should we hit and run or not? And then the manager would do whatever the fans voted for in the ballpark. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Tony Kemp.
But again, my issue is just the height. You know, the height of the strike zone is the issue, because every ball player is not a legit, you know, textbook 6'4".
Liner to right field. Tony Kemp hits his way on, leading off the 7th. Well, that's what A.J. Hinch was hoping Tony Kemp would do as he rejoined this club.
Yeah, you don't expect him to go out there and get 3 knocks every night, but find your way on base, turn that lineup over. Here talked about a lot how that 9-hole hitter can be that second leadoff guy. Right here, looks pretty good.
George Springer was the catalyst in the 6th inning to that 3-run go-ahead frame. He doubled to right leading off the inning. George has now scored 77 runs. He is second in the league. George has put together that good combination of runs scored and runs driven in. He's driven in 61. In for a strike to George. His batting average has been slipping lately. 252 was his average when this game started. No balls, 2 strikes. Not that that completely defines a player like Springer, because he still has a decent on-base average. That's not one you want to swing at.
He actually did a good job of taking that.
Rosario moves over toward right center about 8 steps as the throw goes to first from Tonkin. Alex Bregman's on deck. 8 hits for the Astros, 6 for the Twins. The Twins have the only error in the game. Tonkin makes another throw over. The Twins have allowed 54 stolen bases this year. You told us earlier about Suzuki's difficulties in throwing out runners. They've only nabbed 14 trying to steal. Springer goes for it and fouls it back. Red Sox lead the Yankees 5-2 at Fenway. They're in the top of the 9th now. Rick Porcello went 8 solid innings for Boston, giving up 2 earned runs. Luis Severino for the Yankees allowed 5 earned runs in 4 1/3. Springer hits a grounder, and that's on through into left field past a diving Plouffe. Back-to-back singles here as George on the 0-2 pitch comes through, advancing Kemp to second base. Springer's 2 for 4 tonight.
It's a piece. Throw it out there. You never know. George is a tough guy to double up. I like with 2 strikes he's able to keep the barrel on the ball. Sneak that one through the infield, creating issues for Tonkin now.
Alex Bregman has a double and a walk tonight. He has scored a run. Alex seems to be relaxing into this number 2 role in the lineup. First and second. He may be bunting here. Not bunting, and he fouls it. The corner infielders were in at the edge of the grass. A.J. Hinch is not a big advocate of the bunt, sacrifice bunt.
There's a lot of people around baseball now in that camp.
Yeah, most front offices have turned sour on that thought. No balls, 2 strikes. Diamondbacks 5, Mets 3, bottom of the 9th in New York. Zach Greinke returned and went 6 innings, giving up 3 runs. Steven Matz went 6, giving up 2 runs. Neil Walker hit his 20th homer. That came off Greinke. Paul Goldschmidt hit number 18. Foul back. Well, with the Arizona Diamondbacks now 45 and 66, they're going to need a whole lot more than Zach Greinke to look good by the end of the season, right?
Yeah. Might as well just call up some guys and let them get their reps and the experience and shoot for next year, because it was not what they had planned on over there. Some questionable moves, signings. How about Shelby Miller?
Yep. That's
That was
another
an
one.
unbelievable trade to begin with, and now is he still in AAA?
Not sure.
Yeah, he got sent out. I know that.
Okay.
But wow. And then Twitterverse throws Chip Hale under the bus for no reason. It was an interesting situation going on over there.
Well, we've probably all been fired by Twitter several times by now,
Oh,
right?
man. That is a long list.
1 and 2.
Great point, though, Brownie.
Got a question about how many pass balls Evan Gattis has this year. 3. Ground ball to short. Polanco to second, and there's Dozier turning it. Double play. Kemp to third base.
And those who like the bunt argue that this is a possibility. That's why you play the game of baseball. Either play for the big inning or you play for the small inning.
Well, you know, there is a saying in baseball: you play for 1 run, you lose by 1 run.
Yep.
Jose Altuve is 3 for 3 tonight. That's strike 1 to him. It's been another showcase night for Altuve. Boy, he is just amazing this year. How's it back, and it's 0-2. Chance to pick up another run with the Astros up by 1, and Altuve is trying to do exactly that. But again, he's down in the count 0-2. That's what was the situation in the 6th. But he got a single to load the bases. This is a 39-game on-base streak on the road that he has extended already tonight. That's smacked into center field. He's 4 for 4. 2 of the hits coming on 0-2 counts, and it's 6-4 Houston. 68 runs batted in.
Does he just giggle on the inside?
I think he manipulates pitchers.
Doesn't he, though? It sure seems that way. Get to 2 strikes. Oh, yeah, you're in complete command, buddy. Just go ahead and hang that next pitch. I'll just ram it right back up the middle. Get me another base hit, another RBI.
There's an MVP.
Yes. My goodness.
1 through 4 hitters, 9 of 14, 5 runs batted in. Number 3 hitter, 4 for 4. Carlos Correa, 2 for 3, a homer, 4 runs batted in. What Altuve has done in batting average compared to his team is absolutely noteworthy. Bouncer to first. Mauer has it, and the Astros get a run on 3 hits and leave a man. They lead it 6-4.
and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Houston Astros, LLC.
It's a warm, humid night here in the Twin Cities. The Astros lead the Twins 6-4. Astros fans watching a back-and-forth contest. Jose Altuve has his 7th 4-hit game of the year, and that is 19 for his career, and he is just an absolute machine. Forget the count. He's always a threat, Plummer.
568 since the All-Star break? What?
On the road? Yeah. On the road since the All-Star break, 568.
Sorry, I couldn't get past the number. Actually, explain the whole thing because I was just flabbergasted.
Well, yeah, the numbers will flabbergast you on him.
I mean, that's his height.
568. Robbie Grossman looks at ball one. He ripped a homer in the 5th inning after lining out to left. Robbie 1 for 2 tonight. Twins have hit 3 bombs in this game. So they are a threat, and they've been swinging the bat well for weeks. It's 2 balls, no strikes, 2-run lead for the Astros. They've out-hit the Twins 10-6. Each club is stranded 4. In the air, and Bregman comes over. Out of play.
Most 4-hit games, Astros all time. Altuve already on that list. He's got 19, beating out Operation Shutdown and Lance Berkman. Oh.
Are you referring to Derek Bell, sir?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's what he said one time. 2 balls, 2 strikes, or 3 and 1 now. He was in Operation Shutdown. What else can we say about him that people don't know?
I don't know. We may have to nickname him PS27, man, like a PlayStation out there playing this game.
He is. That's a punch out on Grossman, no? It's 3-2 now. And a foul tip. Yeah, on the road, that's just been an incredible category for Altuve this season. It's almost to the point that if you hadn't been watching it every night, you couldn't believe the numbers. That's strike 3. Grossman unhappy at the Chris Guccione call.
You can be upset all you want. That was a fastball in a 3-2 count. You should be swinging the bat. Get a look at that location. Pretty solid fastball down in the zone, and that's what we like to see from Feliz, is creating that downward plane. You can see it clearly crosses the nape of the knee right at the front of the plate. But we know Robbie Grossman is a on-base percentage type guy.
Now Feliz works the strike zone, and there's strike 1 to Dozier. Dozier is 1 for 3 in this game. You suppose that Altuve's day off followed by a 4-hit game will have any effect on anybody going forward?
But as far as do days off work, or
yeah,
how dare you give me the day off?
Maybe it's that. 1-2. How many active players have had 20 homers and a .350 batting average?
Wow.
The same season. Active players. Jose Altuve has 19 homers. He has a while to get number 20, 2-2. Albert Pujols has done it twice in 03 and 08. Joe Mauer did it in 09, and Josh Hamilton did it in 2010. Those are the only active players to have 20 homers and a .350 batting average this same year. That one hooks foul. And Daniel Murphy could very well do it this year. He has 21 homers and he's hitting around .350 right now. Two for Michael Feliz. And this foul ball goes out of play. Astros opened the game with 3 hits in the first inning off Hector Santiago, who in 5 1/3 innings allowed 7 hits, 5 runs, walking 1, fanning 4. Bouncer short, 2 hop for Correa, 2 outs. Now it's Joe Mauer. Mauer's 0 for 3. Marlins shut out the Giants 2-0 in Miami. Tom Kohler going to 9-8 with a win over Matt Moore. And Fernando Rodney got his 19th save. That was a combined 3-hitter by 3 different Marlins pitchers. Moore pitched well, 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs in the loss for the Giants. That's ball 1. They're in that dogfight with the Dodgers in the NL West. San Francisco began the night with a 1-game lead over Los Angeles. Dodgers just underway at home against the Phillies. In for a strike, 1-1. You know, the Dodgers, with their enormous resources, when we get to September 1st and rosters can be expanded, that club with that kind of budget, they might have 38 guys.
Good chance.
2
Just
balls
think.
and a strike.
Will they bring back Yasiel Puig?
Maybe not.
He's entertaining.
He's entertaining, but he's also a problem. 2-1 to Mauer. And he's also irritating. It sounds as if a lot of people are fed up with his act. That's into left field near the line. Kemp was shading him that way and will hold him to a single. So Mauer hits a rope and he's on with 2 outs here in the 7th.
It's a standard Joe Mauer swing. Throughout his career, able to go the other way relatively easily.
Now Kepler, as Brent Strom goes out, we can answer this question. We have a request to expand on Operation Shutdown for Derek Bell. I don't remember was it a contract situation for him?
Well, it was my understanding that one of the last teams he played with, I can't remember, I'd have to look it up, but the manager calls him into the office and says, hey, you're going to platoon, or you're going to be a role player, bench guy off the bench. And Derek Bell wanted to be an everyday player, and he said, well, if that's the case, I'm going into Operation Shutdown.
Which means show up at the park today and do nothing?
I think just disappear, get on a boat.
Oh, okay. Well, he did that. He actually sailed from St. Petersburg, where he had his boat, to New York. And when he played for the Mets, he lived on his boat in that shipyard by Shea Stadium.
Yep.
That's where he lived.
It'd be tough to sleep over there with that LaGuardia.
You're right. Max Kepler's 1 for 3. There is strike 1. Earplugs may be required on the boat. Well, you know, you hear all the time it's a better sleep on a boat, right? That rocking, gentle rocking.
Yeah. Then you got your automatic sound machine and 737s and 747s overhead.
That might cancel it out.
I was going to say, depending on which runway they're using.
Yeah. It's runway 13. You can absolutely forget sleeping on that boat.
Yeah, you'd have to move your house.
Kepler shoots one into center field. On the 0-2 pitch, he hit it hard. Now 2 men on with 2 outs for Miguel Sano, who took the 2nd inning pitch deep from Mike Fiers. A.J. Hinch is on his way.
Yeah, that was too good of a pitch and a 2-strike count for Michael Feliz. Let that fastball right out over the plate. Kepler's been swinging a hot bat of late.
Well, Feliz will leave after an inning and 2/3, giving up 3 hits. And we'll be right back with the score 6-4 Houston.
2 out, 6-4 over the Minnesota Twins, who are threatening. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you have come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
Former Minnesota Twin Pat Neshek in 42 games is 2-2 at 2.43 ERA, a 0.84 WHIP. 15 games since June 20th, 1 run allowed. He inherits runners at first and second, 2 outs. Miguel Sano, the batter, he ripped a homer first time up, 1 for 3. Ooh, that almost caught the inside corner, ball 1. Big point of this game with the Astros up by 2 and the Twins threatening. And it's foul back. Neshek was drafted by the Twins in 2002 in the 6th round. Came to the big leagues with them in 2006. Stayed here through the 2010 season when he moved along to San Diego. Pat's 35 years old now. In the air, here's Altuve. Marwin Gonzalez. Altuve calls him off. Catches it for the 3rd out. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left after 7. 6-4 Astros. He will be pitcher number 3 of the night. And the Astros have done a nice job with the bats in this game. Shears is trying to quiet them down. He's 2-0 with a 3.80 ERA.
Making his 23rd appearance at WHIP close to 1, doing a good job at that. He's got a fastball at 92, changeup, slider to go with it.
Michael Tonkin in 1 2/3 innings allowed 3 hits, 1 run. He walked 1 and did not have a strikeout. Hector Santiago started the game. Here's Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin 0 for 3 with an RBI on a ground out in the 6th inning when the Astros got 3 runs to take the lead 5-4. Bo Shears is 28 years old from Huntsville, Alabama. Breaking pitch gets him strike 1. Bo Shears came up with the Angels. They drafted him in 2008 in the 4th round. Minnesota signed him as a free agent last December. Twins bullpen has been porous with a 4.23 ERA. 13th in the American League. No balls, 2 strikes. Boshiers has thrown the ball well at Target Field with a 1.80 ERA for 10 innings. He spent 2 weeks or a little bit more in the month of July in the minor leagues at AAA Rochester. Came back up July 21st. In the dirt. Last year he pitched in the Independent Atlantic League with Somerset. 1-2. Will Harris is warming up for Houston. Struck him out. David Clark says Alex Rodriguez hit .358 with 20 homers in 1996. He is technically still active. Well, we're saying no.
Yeah.
All right.
Technically, yes.
On a technicality, yes.
He's already mailed it in.
You think he'll get?
He's gone into Operation Shutdown.
Yeah. You think they'll give him another at bat before it's over?
Got to give him one, don't
Yeah,
you? Throw him a bone.
Yes. Evan Gattis looks at ball 1. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Alex Golden wants to know if a runner is forced at second to end an inning, does the batter running to first still count as a runner left on base? Yes. Breaking pitch makes it 1-1. Gaddis rips one about shoe high into left field for a single. That's a 1-out hit for Evan.
Yeah, we know that Evan Gattis has some serious plate coverage, and rumor has it he's a pretty good golfer, and he tried to prove it right there. Go down and get that thing, kid.
Now Carlos Gomez is going in to pinch run for Evan. Jason Castro will go in to do the catching. Astros have a 2-run lead. Gomez has 12 steals in 14 tries. Tyler White's the batter. Gaddis reached base twice tonight. That caught the corner, and it's strike 1 on White. Gomez takes off. Here's a throw from Suzuki, right on the money, but he's safe. Pinch runner Gomez steals the bag.
Pretty good going first move on the left-hander Boshiers. Suzuki having issues throwing guys out this season. There you get a good look at it. Nice work. Nice work. It looks like Paul Molitor's having a peek at it, because we are in a holding pattern right now. Judge for yourself on our Supermo. Safe.
Yep.
Thank you for confirming that. Could you please pass it along to the Twins dugout?
They don't want to hear it from here.
Yeah, they're not like they're listening to us anyways, right?
They'll make their own determination on that. No challenge though. And the count's 1-1 after the 13th steal of the year by Gomez. White swings through the breaking ball. That makes it 1-2 to Tyler. Smoke to right field on a line, and that's a sliding play by Kepler. He gets it back in after the catch, and he'll get a double play. Spectacular effort by Kepler in right. A sliding grab. He got his glove underneath it and then doubled off Gomez. Snow runs a hit. Nobody left. Here's a beauty by Kepler. Keep the score 6-4 Houston. And by Lexus, the new 2016 Lexus ES and ES Hybrid. It's next level luxury. Clear night in downtown Minneapolis. It's 6-4. The Astros lead the Twins. Pitcher number 4 in the game for Houston. He is right-hander Will Harris. 1-2 with 11 saves and 14 opportunities. And in 4 games against Minnesota, 4 innings, 1 hit, no runs.
Keep running him out there. He's got a great arm. 2016 All-Star, trying to get his feet back under him, and I think it's great that A.J. Hinch is still showing confidence in the young man.
Trevor Plouffe leads it off. Bunting, it's in the air, and it's a fair ball, but it's rolling foul. Will Harris started to reach out. He drew the right hand back, and it's a foul ball.
Looked like one of Steve Sparks' chips today out on the course. Good spin on it. Heck of a read by Will Harris.
Very good read. Jason Castro is in doing the catching. He was probably yelling at Will to let it go because he too has a good read on that spin from where he is. So back to the plate. Plouffe, who has walked twice and grounded out. Harris has given up runs in each of his last 4 outings now. That's unusual for Will. He gets a foul ball, and it's 0-2. Especially because he put together a club record 26 consecutive scoreless appearances this year.
Yeah, you get spoiled like that, then the numbers you just rattle off right there seem a little shocking.
He became an all-star after going 37 games in a row without giving up an extra base hit. New club record. Still 0-2. Indians 3, Nationals 1. That's a final from Washington. Trevor Bauer going to 8-5, beating Max Scherzer, who's 12-7. Cody Allen got save number 21. No Andrew Miller tonight. In the dirt, he started, and did he go? Nope. On appeal to the first base umpire, Mark Wagner. It's a check swing call for Plouffe. Correa plays it to his left, makes the strong throw and gets him out. One down for Harris. Pat Neshek retired the only man he faced. Got Sano on a pop-up. Michael Feliz win an inning and 2/3, allowing 3 hits, no runs, walking 1, fanning 3. Now Rosario, he has struck out all 3 times. We had a question about how many hits Altuve now has. We have him at 989. We need those sign people on the road, Plummer. The sign lady at Minute Maid Park. There's ball 1.
Yeah, they're going to have to make Altuve a new bobblehead counter.
Fans want number 1,000 at home. It's only a 2-game homestand, though.
They seen what he does on the road. He may get those 11 hits in the next 4 games.
He could.
Gosh.
He certainly could.
All greedy about it.
Well, let's see. 5 more games on this trip. That's kind of his pace, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he won't be getting any more days off to rest. Foul back. 1-2. Altuve has hit in all 9 of his career games at Target Field. Fouled away by Rosario. The Astros have Marisnick, Kemp, and Springer due up in the 9th. Cubs lead the Angels 5-1. They're in the top of the 9th at Wrigley Field. Oh, it's now a final with John Lackey winning. He's 9-7, beating Jared Weaver, who's 8-9. Foul ball off Castro. It's quite a play to end the top of the inning by Kepler.
Most definitely was. In every sense of that play, it was amazing.
Threw from the seat of his pants.
But he looked up in great shock to see Gomez off the bag, too.
In the dirt. 2-2. Now that play went from 9 to 4 to 6. Dozier took the throw from Kepler. Relayed it on to Polanco for the double play. Good looking young player.
Really is. Yeah, we heard so much about the offense. Now we get a chance to see him play some right field, and that was a great play. Also played that ball off the wall that Carlos Correa hit pretty well too.
Oh, he got a swing on a pitch up in the eyes of Rosario, and the golden sombrero will be in his locker. It's his 4th strikeout of the night.
Seen that elevated fastball during this game be effective against some of these Minnesota Twins, and Rosario having a rough night. Chased that one way out of the zone.
Will Harris has gotten the first 2. Now he faces Polanco. Polanco 1 for 3. Bouncer out toward Altuve to make it a 1-2-3-8. The Astros lead it 6-4, moving to the 9th. As they come up in the 9th inning, Marisnick, Kemp, and Springer are due up. Altuve is 4 for 4 in this game. He just continues an amazing season, up to 159 hits now this year. He might even get another at bat. The Astros will, with Marisnick, get things started. He is 0 for 3. Boshear's out for the 9th inning after facing 3 in the 8th. We're just checking on the Corpus Christi Hooks game. They lost at home to Northwest Arkansas 4-1 tonight. And that was the AA Hooks debut of Yulieski Gurriel. He DH'd tonight. He was 0 for 3 with a strikeout. And Chase McDonald pinch hit for him late in the game. Well, not sure what the reason was, of course, for that. There's ball 1.
I think it's a little bit of the Astros handling it like a spring training type situation where you get your 3 at bats, get pinch hit for, taken out of the game, relax a little bit.
Makes sense.
Just kind of gradually increasing the reps that he gets. Not trying to fully expose him to the rigors of playing a 9-inning game so soon, because he has taken that huge layoff before signing with the Astros.
That's hit toward right center field. Marisnick has a gapper, and that goes all the way to the wall. Rosario picks it up, and Marisnick is still running. Here's the throw to third, a triple. Leading it off here in the 9th inning. That's his first of the year for Marisnick.
Boys hit the ball hard tonight a couple times. Flew out to deep center field. This one finds the gap. Once that ball gets to the wall and Rosario has to chase it down, Jake's got the wheels to make this an easy triple. Good job getting on top of that high fastball too. Scooting past Rosario, much to the delight of Jake Marisnick, and that long stride gets him into third base easily. Gives us a TV slide.
Yeah. And now the Astros, with the Twins moving the infield in, hope to capitalize. Tony Kemp. And he hits a shot at Dozier. Tough luck for Kemp because he hit it on the button, but it's out number 1, and Marisnick has to stay put. Tony's 1 for 4.
Yeah, ball hit well. A couple more feet to the right of Dozier. That gets past him easy, but a good play by the second baseman.
George Springer has had a good night, going 2 for 4, scoring a run, double and a single for George. A chance to pick up RBI number 62 right here through a drawn-in infield. Fouls it for strike 1.
Tell you what, if I'm playing third or short, I'm not a happy guy right now.
No, that ball can arrive in about what, 0.4 seconds?
Yeah.
At your doorstep. Don't blink.
Yeah, that's not going to benefit you at all.
1-1. So I would imagine when you're playing at that situation, you open your eyes a little bit wider, maybe, just for concentration and to make sure you don't blink. Or
well, instead of having the glove between my legs down there ready for a ground ball, I've got them around my chest.
that'll get him home. Well, maybe not. It's not that deep. Grossman, though, does not have the arm to throw him out, and Marisnick will come in to score on a sac fly. 7-4 on the sac fly by Springer. That's his 62nd run batted in. He got it deep enough.
Yes, he did, especially with Jake Marisnick's speed over there at third base. Just a routine fly ball to left field, and like you said, Robbie Grossman, not the most aggressive arm out there in the outfield. Insurance run added.
Three-run lead, and it's Bregman batting. In for strike 1. Robbie has a double and a walk, has scored a run. Chris Bryant hit his 28th homer for the Cubs tonight in their win over the Angels. Bregman chased one. Must not have seen that very well out of the hand, and it's 0-2, but that is something I was talking with A.J. Reed about yesterday. You know, you're facing all these pitchers for the first time. And it's nice to have a little experience against them.
No, that's one of the harder things. You do watch a lot of video, but that really doesn't benefit you until you see the ball coming out of that pitcher's hand.
That's the same thing A.J. Reed said. Cubs are now 70-41. That's the quickest the Cubs have reached 70 wins since 1945, which was the last time they've been in the World Series. Bregman started the bat. The appeal goes to first. He checked his swing, and it's 2-2.
Good call.
That's strike 3 call. In the ninth, the Astros get a run on one hit. They lead it 7-4. Will be the closer tonight, Ken Giles. He's 1-3, his ERA 3.65, and he has one save with the Astros this season. Plummer.
Last time he was out there was on August 7th against the Texas Rangers. He went an inning and 2/3, gave up 3 hits. If I'm reading this correctly, he punched out 6 Rangers in that outing.
Yes.
Pretty impressive stuff. Threw 36 pitches, so with a couple days off, he's fresh and ready to go and get this save for the Houston Astros with that 3-run lead.
He struck out 4 in the 9th inning because there was a wild pitch on one of those strikeouts. First Astros pitcher with 4 strikeouts in a single inning since Bud Norris in April of 2012 at Milwaukee. And he became the 3rd pitcher since 1913 to pick up 6 strikeouts with 2 innings or less. That was a very unusual game. Kurt Suzuki to lead it off.
Well, Ken Giles has the stuff for it, and I would imagine catching him has got to be extremely tough with that power slider he comes at you with, too.
Suzuki has doubled and walked in 3 trips tonight. Fastball at 99 is up and in, ball 1. Will Harris had a 1-2-3 8th with a strikeout. The bullpen has been solid tonight. Michael Feliz gave up 3 hits but no runs, as Pat Neshek got an important out on Miguel Sano. Now it's 2-0. Ken Giles has pitched a scoreless baseball since June 18th when he gave up 2 runs and got a blown save in the 9th inning to Cincinnati with Adam Duvall hitting a 2-run homer off it. 2 balls and a strike. The recent shifting in the Astros bullpen. He's been named the 9th inning pitcher in situations like this. He came in with a 1-0 lead against Toronto August 1st and got a hold in that one. The Astros won it in the 14th. And then got this opportunity, but the Astros have not been winning, so they've not put him into this situation since that shift was made. His only save as an Astro after being the closer for the Phillies the second half of the season last year came back in May 26th. Line it to the right field. George Springer on the run. That's over his head, and one hops the wall. He plays it and fires into second base, and it's a double for Suzuki to get things started in the Twins' 9th inning.
Nothing coming easy for the Houston Astros. Just a good piece of hitting. You don't have to do much against a guy that's throwing 98, 99 miles an hour. Get the barrel on it, redirect it the other way.
The Twins get something started. Suzuki with his second 2-base hit of the night. Robbie Grossman follows. He ripped a 2-run homer in the 5th. He's 1 for 3. Also hit the ball well, lining out to left field in the 3rd inning. Marisnick shades him toward left center. That is strike 1. Giles, when he got that save, it was against Baltimore in a game the Astros won 4-2 May 26th. Dotted right on the edge there. It's 1-1. Giles has made 15 straight outings without being charged with a run, although in that game against Texas you talked about, he came in with a couple of men on base and gave up a 2-run double to Jurickson and Profar, who were charged to another pitcher. And for a strike, and it's 1-2. And now, as he goes for the save tonight, there might be another change in who gets these save assignments, at least temporarily, because a baby is due very soon in the Giles household. So paternity leave is perhaps just a few days away for Kent. Luke Gregerson could be back this weekend in Toronto. That will help. Braves won at Milwaukee, 2-1 Atlanta tonight. Now 2-2. It's good to see Robbie Grossman doing well with the Twins. Solid guy with the Astros. He's hitting .228 left-handed coming into this game tonight. .333 right-handed. He's had over 200 at-bats with Minnesota. He pulls it. That was a play at first by Marwin Gonzalez. Tossing to Giles, covering for out number 1. Suzuki takes third base. Robbie was with the Cleveland Indians spring training and went to AAA, and then had a chance to opt out of his contract. Twins picked him up, and that's been a very good move for Robbie. Suzuki at third, 1 down now.
Good for both parties. Grossman rolling over that slider. Good play. PFPs paid off in spring training.
Dozier is the batter. Dozier homered in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 4. Bregman plays it in close at third base. Infield shifts around. Correa very deep at shortstop. That's strike 1. White Sox and Royals are in the top of the 10th in Kansas City, tied at 4. Reds lead 7-4 at St. Louis. They're in the bottom of the 9th. Big game for the Cardinals, who are 6 games above 500. A swing there makes it 0-2 on Dozier.
A couple of nasty sliders from Ken Giles, getting ahead early. Ooh.
He throws his fastball at 99, but the slider is really the pitch for him, right?
Yeah, it is firm to quite firm. Good sharp break on it. Again, when you're trying to anticipate how to defend 97 to 100 miles an hour, it's tough to lay off that slider.
That's hit to shortstop. Correa bobbles, recovers, gets him as the run scores to make it 7-5. 2 outs. Dozier gets the RBI, his 65th. Joe Mauer will bat.
Slider was actually hit pretty good. Good job by Carlos Correa not panicking right there. Kept that ball in front. Good strong throw. Gladly exchanged that hit for a run. I mean that out for a run. Sorry.
First run charged to Giles since that game against Cincinnati, June 18th. Mauer singled to left in the 7th inning, 1 for 4. Ball 1. Out west, they've played 4 in Oakland. The Athletics lead the Orioles 2-1. Detroit is up 3-0 on Seattle in the top of the 4th. And for a strike, and it's 1-1. Scott Ausmus's team has been resuscitated and is only 2.5 behind Cleveland coming into play tonight. Detroit 10 games over 500. Well, that's a close one, and it's 2-1. For the Astros, who are 2 games above 500. If they can get it to 10 games over by the end of this month, they are not out of it in the wild card race. Probably not anyway, unless somebody really catches fire or a couple teams catch fire. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Nasty. Now we're having a conversation with Chris Guccione behind home plate. See it below the zone. Barely.
Mauer knows the strike zone.
It's a good thing the hitter does.
He started but checked his swing. They appealed to Marty Foster. 3-2 now on Mauer. Mauer with 63 walks, 72 strikeouts, has a good balance. For Joe's career, he has struck out just 30 more times than he's walked. That is fabulous. Career .313 batting average coming into this season for Joe. Mike Fiers can be the winning pitcher. Upstairs, and Mauer works a walk, bringing up Kepler, representing the potential tying run. Kepler's 2 for 4.
Really want to bring that tying run to the plate. At the same time, that pitch count, you'd like to see this be a quick AB so Ken Giles doesn't have that exaggerated pitch count. Take him out of tomorrow's game.
That is important. That's ball 1 to Kepler. Oh, especially because the Astros, by virtue of losing 11 out of 14 and falling 4 games back in the wild card race, are going to just have to go full throttle now and rely on these relievers. It might be a real grind for them. And for a strike, and it's 1-1. They don't have the luxury, though, of giving that kind of a regular day off, or 3 appearances in a row. They might get a day off, but the relievers know that it's go-to time now.
Yeah, you try and pace yourself with them until you get to that August, September, when you're trying to make a push for a pennant or wild card.
Now 2-1. Giles last year with the Phillies had 15 saves in 20 opportunities. Has 17 career saves. Fastball tied him up, and it's 2-2. 98 miles per hour.
Tell you what, some young man who's hanging out watching this ball game just made a one-handed grab on that foul ball. That was sweet, right in front of us, just to the left.
Did he? Good.
Yeah.
Kepler's down on strikes, and that ends it. The Astros snap their 3-game losing streak. Giles gets a second save, fires win number 8, and the Astros have squared this 4-game series. They did it with a good 12-hit attack. Jake Marisnick a part of it with that triple, scoring the insurance run, and it came into play. Houston winning it 7-5.